Press conference is simple. Secretary sir will be giving you brief information, and we have with us Secretary Higher Education K. Sanjay Murthy, and we have with us Professor Rajiv Arora, Director IIT Ropar. In fact, IIT Ropar is the main institution coordinating this entire G20 working group here at Amritsar. After the initial briefing by Secretary sir, then the floor will be open to questions from all of your side. As you are well aware, this particular G20 meeting is about the education working group meeting. So we would request all of our media friends to be focusing only on the questions relating to Education 20 group. No other questions would be entertained. I would request you for that. There will also be an exhibition tomorrow. I'll just like to give you a small information about this also. An exhibition is also being held at Guru Khalsa, the main venue of the event. Tomorrow, 12:45, you will be allowed entry there also. You will be requested to come and visit that. That exhibition will showcase so many different stalls by leading institutions, by startup ventures. You will come yourself, and after the particular today's press conference, we will give a press release based on which you can make your stories. Now I'll hand over the floor to Secretary sir for his briefing. Sir. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Chaudhary. Welcome, friends. Nice to see so many media friends today. But in addition to what Mr. Chaudhary did brief you about, I'll just tell you the context in which this education working group is happening. I hope English is okay, or do I have to do it in Hindi? Hindi? Okay. So, the education working group as part of the G20 is fairly a recent working group. This is the 5th year of this thing. So that means it was set up only 4 years back. So it is relatively young, and it's a working group amongst all these countries of G20 countries and the invited countries. So you have a set of 29 countries who participate in this working group deliberation. As Mr. Chaudhary had mentioned, the first one was in Chennai, and each of these working groups you have one special theme. In Chennai it was EdTech learning, whereas the one that is the theme for greater deliberations is research and collaboration for innovation. That is the theme for this working group in Amritsar. The one that is there in Bhubaneswar is on future of work, and the one that is identified in Pune is on foundational literacy and numeracy. So while we did EdTech learning in Chennai, we are going to do research and collaboration for innovation in Amritsar. So it is in that context that this seminar is being organized tomorrow, wherein through the aegis of IIT Ropar, they have been able to collate the best startups and the best innovations throughout the country. Not only the country, but a large number of them from the state of Punjab itself, from the agriculture sector, from the dairy sector, and from variety of institutions within the state. So it has given the opportunity for the universities and the children of the state of Punjab and their universities to come and demonstrate to this international audience the type of path-breaking innovations that they are able to produce in their campuses to be showcased internationally for greater traction in the deliberations that are to follow. The entire purpose is to show the vibrancy of innovation that our academic institute, networking between institutions. While we are able to demonstrate this in the exhibition and in the seminar tomorrow, this will lead into the deliberations that are happening day after. When we sit on these topics, these 4 topics will be discussed in the education working group day after tomorrow and on the 17th. And when we are progressing towards ministerial declaration in the month of June, the feedback and the response that we get from these seminars and the exhibitions feed into those deliberations. So to that extent, it is one of a key event for us in our journey towards the ministerial working group in June in Pune. Now, I will also ask Professor Ahuja, the Director IIT Ropar, to briefly mention about the key innovations that he has collated for you today. But in side by side, the other things that we are focusing is on that it is not an event that is just restricted to the educational institutions and citizens of Amritsar. But we have tried to make an effort to see that all key institutions of the state of Punjab also participate in this seminar. So while we have a restricted seating capacity, an invitation has been sent out by IIT Ropar to all the institutions there to ensure that there is participation from the students and faculty of such colleges to witness the seminar and as well as the exhibition. In addition to what is demonstrated here, we have many of the G20 countries also exhibiting their research and products here. There are quite a few countries who have also exhibited, and as mentioned to you, you will get an opportunity to see that tomorrow. Now that event is, while we use that opportunity to show it to our G20 friends, that exhibition which has been so painstakingly put up will be open to all the educational institutions for the next 3 days. So they too will get an opportunity to come and visit it after the delegates have visited it tomorrow, thereby giving a greater impact and opportunity for students to get encouraged by what they witnessed there. I have this much to add, but I'll just ask Professor Ahuja to add a little bit more on the innovations that are on display tomorrow.
Thank you, Sanjay ji. As Sanjay ji already told that the theme is already this research and innovation through collaboration. So innovation is a big part of this event, and that's make a difference compared to other events. And we are not only showing the Punjab, but all over India, but we have much focus on Punjab. And for example, you can think about many technology like you are talking about nowadays. The Punjab is stable burning, and how we can use the stable in a most the way where we can use them in a better way, actually, not just burning, and how to make a useful product from them. And then Punjab is also a hub for the textile industry also. So we are going to show what innovation has been done in the how to clean the water, because textile industry is one of the biggest user of the water. So we have developed the nanotechnology, we call nanobubble technology. So that will be shown there. And in future, that technology will be also put in the Harmandir Sahib, that pond also, to clean the water. And we are also working in the area of the smart agriculture and how our farmers can use those innovative techniques and they can use in their farmlands. And we are already in touch with many young farmers, not only in the Punjab but in other part of Punjab, and they want to use it. And then the other thing is that there will be many stalls also related to millets, because this is the year of millet also. So you will see a lot of stall and how you can use millet, how you can grow the millet, and how we can educate the farmers also to grow the millet and make a full supply chain. So another thing is that you will see the also innovation for the Punjab for the agriculture sector, the soil testing. So you will see a lot of the apps has been developed, and with this, some small devices you can put in the soil, and you can get all the basic parameters of your soil in your phone in app. And that will be helpful for the small farmers who has less than 4 to 5 acre lands, and they want to have a soil testing, and what kind of the seed they have to use, what kind of fertilizer they have to use, how many water they have to use. So there will be a lot of, and then we are also working also, because now we are using a lot of this toxic spray in the fields. So there's a company coming which you can see that is called Syngenta, and we have developed new devices to trace because when we spray these things, we kill the insect which are friendly also. So we will show you what we are doing in that, and you will see that how the innovation is used in that sector also. So this is a very wide variety of invention you will see, and you can have an opportunity to touch them actually. It's not like that we are showing in a poster or some movie and you're watching. So you can touch it and you can ask how it will be used and how we can use. So this is the best feature of our this exhibition, which will be run for 3 days, and it will be very useful for especially our young children and the who want to come in the area of innovation. For them, it will be a path-breaking event for their future. And as you know that I want to add one thing more, that IIT Ropar is in the Punjab, so that is our proud actually moment. So it's not that this G20 event can be in other city or any other state, but for this is a proud moment for whole Punjab, and especially for IIT Ropar, that ministry has trust on us, and they trust that we are the younger IITs and how we are growing, so they believe in us because we are also growing in the same direction through research and innovation, through a collaboration. So this also reflect in in this vertical of education, that what we are doing in Ropar also, and you all should be proud of that IIT Ropar is doing so well, and it belongs to Punjab. We are situated in Punjab, and we are looking forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
There was another item that I just forgot to mention. There is also a separate segment on Indian knowledge systems, which is part of initiative of the Ministry of Education. As you know, under the National Education Policy 2020, we need to see that Indian knowledge systems are imbibed or brought forward and are part of pedagogy or curriculum of our institutions. The exhibition that is there on Indian knowledge systems will give you a glimpse of type of the work that is happening and how we need to bring this forward. So the rich culture and heritage of Punjab will be brought out there. And I strongly urge you to take the time to see that and see how that is brought out. And now I leave it to you for if any.
Just one small thing. When we start the press conference or the questions, please introduce yourself, your organization, and you're welcome for the question. और किसी भी भाषा में आप सवाल पूछना चाहें पूछ सकते हैं. Please.
PTI. Sir, you were just talking about the excessive use of fertilizer and toxins in the formal field and to maintain the quality of soil and water. But at the same time, you people are not going to involve the farmer in the seminar directly.
The seminar is on research and collaboration. It's an education working group. Research and collaboration has to happen amongst educational institutions and research labs. It's a very focused discussion to see that how amongst research institutions and academic institutions in the country, among states, and amongst G20 countries and invitee countries collaborate for addressing the SDG goals that we have. While we all work in isolations, you have seen that India in the past, even in the COVID period, has done fantastic research in bringing out vaccines or applications, and it has all happened due to collaboration of academic institutions. Now, if you need to leverage such type of things, we are here to show the G20 countries and the invited countries that if your academic institutions are able to leverage our academic institutions in research and collaborations, we feel that there is a great potential for better impact and better efficacy of whatever research is done. So it is not a question of bringing all the stakeholders of any research topic, but the academicians who are part of this research collaboration to sit together and identify areas where they can collaborate towards for a better research outcome.
So my name is this working? Yeah, I can hear you. So my name is Amritsar Singh. I work for Doordarshan News. My question is on disruptive technologies. How does this grouping plan to use technologies AI to see that a more inclusive education system can be built? Would this be discussed? And how does the grouping plan to work on that?
See, one is that this seminar, it's while it may be structured, it gives you an opportunity to present our achievements and as well as our roadmap towards the areas that you talked about. The seminar is structured in 2-3 matters. We have Professor Rangarajan, who is the director of Indian Institute of Science. And Indian Institute of Science is the only institution in India which has got a perfect 100 score in QS ranking in research. He is going to give a presentation on the best practices of research collaboration amongst all the G20 countries. Okay. Then you have Professor Murthy, who is a director of IIT Hyderabad, who is going to do the similar thing, but for India. What are the best practices that are happening in the research institutions, in academic institutions in this, and where collaborations have worked for the benefit of all. Now, having said that, in the recent budget, you must have realized there were 3 critical announcements that were made. One was on centers of excellence on artificial intelligence. And while making that announcement, there were 3 specific subjects that they had identified. One was on agriculture, one was on health, and the third was on sustainable cities. These 3 centers of excellences will not be just done by one institution. It has to be done in a collaboration or a network of institutions on all these 3 disciplines. And I think such type of seminars is timely for us to even conceptualize how we are going to do such type of things if collaboration has to happen. And I'm telling you that these are the ways where disruptive technologies are going to overtake whatever our traditional means have been thought so far. As an example, our application of CoWIN, which was done in-house with a limited set of institutions working on it, you are able to deliver a COVID certificate within a matter of seconds, which has not been done anywhere in the world to the extent and scale which has been done here. It is those technologies that we want to showcase here to show where our digital transformation and our digital goods are being showcased for the betterment of not only our country, but our offerings to the world at large. And I'm sure that this opportunity will give us a platform to do that. When we did this last in IIT Madras, I could tell you the amount of appreciation and warmth feedback that we got from all the participants on the type of work that that academic institution was doing. So I'm really excited and hopeful to look at what type of response that we would get from our invited countries tomorrow. And we look forward for our academic institutions also to highlight the ones that would pose great potential for the future, for definitely addressing the sustainable development goals that we need to do.
Sir, I am GS Paul from Institute. My question is to Professor Ahuja. Professor Saab, you talked about the innovation and technology in soil testing, and how cost effective is this, and how widen you could reach to the farming community?
I think this is very cost effective because you can do in few thousand rupees, like 4,000 to 5,000 rupees. You can do this. 4 to 5,000 rupees only. So that's the advantage because the poor farmers, they can do it by themselves in the field. So that's.
So how broadly you could cover the farming community?
So actually, this is not what we are going to discuss is here, but IIT Ropar has already interacting with those farmers, and we have a regular farmer meet. Actually, last week itself we have a festival. We celebrated the millet festival, and then all the farmers came, and we discussed these issues there also.
In fact, I will suggest that as in charge of PIB Chandigarh, we will take some of the journalists from here to IIT Ropar after discussing with Director Saab and show you that kind of technology, because this is something which is very specific to the farmers of Punjab, Haryana. I think it is great if media also takes it forward. We'll work it out separately also.
Myself, Maninder Singh Monga from PTC News. My question is, how do you think AI can be used to make education more inclusive?
To make education, AI make education more inclusive. Okay, great question, please.
Okay, good. I mean, quite a interesting question. Very nice. We have this platform called Swayam. Now, Swayam is a platform which is also on the DTH. It's called Swayam Prabha. You have more than 2.4 crore children registered on that platform. Under that platform, there are more than 2,000 plus courses which are there across streams, engineering, social sciences, management. These courses are delivered through that platform. Okay, it's managed by IIT Madras and it is done. You have top institutions, top IIT professors delivering those courses. IIM Bangalore and all such reputed institutions deliver each of those courses. We are at that stage where we will have this AI working on the progress of that student. If you are giving him a test, you are mapping his progress, AI will be able to tell you the progress that that student is making on his learning outcomes. How much has he picked up on that course or that day? It is based on that AI input that you will know how much of further improvement that student requires, what is the principles or topics that he needs to be told, such that he will be able to understand that entire topic. So we feel that in a remote area where you do not have a proper faculty because of the size of that institution, you might not have all disciplines. But the national education policy says that you should give the opportunity to your child to study whatever topic he wants to study. He may be doing maths, but he wants to study sociology, and that college doesn't have sociology. This platform will give you that opportunity that he can take a course, a credit course of sociology from that platform. So if he's taking that course digitally, how do you see his learning outcomes are? AI is a fantastic tool to see that it will encourage both the teacher as well as the student in ensuring the students both in accessibility and in learning outcomes. So I see that there is a great future for AI in that.
फ्रॉम डेली पोस्ट टीवी मेरा ये सवाल है ऊजा जी से कि सर प्राइमरी एजुकेशन के ऊपर हम सारा फोकस करते हैं, सो रिसर्चेस के ऊपर हम लोग इतना फोकस करते नहीं है, कितने स्टूडेंट रह जाते हैं। जब हमारे एक साल की बात करें 1000 से बहुत कम होते हैं जो पीएचडी करते हैं। सो बाकी देशों की बात करें तो उसमें 10 टाइम्स एक्स्ट्रा या ज़्यादा जो पीएचडी करते हैं, जो उनका ध्यान उसमें होता है। सो इसके लिए इंडिया में क्या होना चाहिए, क्या नहीं होना चाहिए?
You have to bring this research culture already in the school. Our 10th or 12th level में जब आता है बच्चा, so we always push them to go to technology only or BTech, or we don't say that okay you can do research also as a parents also. So we have to put more emphasis on basic sciences, and we should put this thing to our kids actually. And we are doing that. We are going to the school and creating this kind of environment that they should go in research. Also, as a BTech engineer also, we want to put in the curriculum itself in a BTech program that they should do one internship in a research institution so they can get the aptitude for doing research. So that's the way, because right now research people they take as a last option. So they want to go do something more fancy than doing research. But when research is nowadays, it's not on that. We are not talking research just publication. We are not talking about translational research. It means whatever you're doing research, it's coming in a product. So we have to create that kind of environment, especially in the schools who are the kids in a 10th or 12th level. So when they come to the IITs or any engineering institution or university, so they know that there's the area, the research, they can also achieve, and they can also make a career there also.
So according to the India Skills Report 2023, 50% of the graduates are unemployable. How does the working group, will the working group discuss this? And if so, how would it address it?
Yes, this is one of the topic, and the topic is called future of work. Okay. As you know, the nature is of this work is changing by the year, by the day. In Bhubaneswar, as we are having research as a main theme, future of work is the main theme there. And you know that Bhubaneswar has a large number of research institutions, so they are also partnering with us there. There you have OECD, that is the international organization which is helping us in mapping the future of work internationally. Also, with the advent of technology and its impact that it will have on future of work, an entire scenario is going to be demonstrated to all the G20 countries. And it is there that we will deliberate to see what are the changes that the academic institutions need to do in their curriculum and in their pedagogy to ensure that you keep pace with that change. It shouldn't happen that by the time the change happens, that also passes by and you are still late for it. So how do you anticipate this change? By when do you incorporate it in your curriculum and your pedagogy? These are the systems that will be deliberated in detail in Bhubaneswar as part of the working group deliberations.
This is one of the major subjects we are missing in the summit, and most of the youth, educated people are victim of it. I am talking about the drug terrorism in Punjab. So we all are suffering. I think you should not have missed such kind of topics in the summit.
I can only mention to you that this is not a region-specific topic. This is a G20 topic which is there globally. These are all done by consensus. We have to identify these 4 topics that I've talked about: foundational literacy, edtech learning, research collaboration, and future of work. These are topics which are done as consensus of all these 29 countries. So it is not as if that this is happening in a particular geography and what is the problem of that geography can become a topic of these G20 countries. It's a topic that is very tropical and needs to be addressed, no doubt about it. And I'm sure there are different forums which are going to address those topics. Not necessarily it happens to be in Amritsar or in the state of Punjab.
In fact, sir, I would like to add here that in the Youth 20 programs, which was in Chandigarh, in Punjab University, this was one of the topics being discussed. So they have taken, as sir has rightly pointed out, that it is being taken at different platforms. So it is being covered as part of Youth 20 also.
It was there in IIT Ropar also.
That was the youth program.
Youth 20, yes.
मेरा नाम मनजोत सिंह है एबीपी न्यूज़ से। ये जो आप G20 पूरे देश जो आ रहे हैं अमृतसर में, आपको लगता है इस पूरे मीट से जो यूथ बाहर जा रहा है इंडिया से, उससे कोई इफेक्ट रह के मतलब प्रॉपर अपना जो रोज़गार का साधन देखेंगे या आगे जो स्टडी है उसे कंटिन्यू करेंगे?
नहीं, G20 और किसी लड़के को बाहर जाके पढ़ने में आई डोंट थिंक वो कनेक्शन नहीं है. आई मीन जिसको पढ़ना है, हायर रिसर्च करना है, उनको जाना चाहिए. दे शुड गो. वी आर नॉट सेइंग दैट दे शुड नॉट गो. See, mobility issues, that is employment and mobility, is part of the labor working group. It is called employment working group. That is under the Ministry of Labor. So this topic that you're talking about is in their domain. So for me, it is here, it is research and collaboration amongst academic institutions. What we as a country have done, have facilitated this through this joint degree, dual degree and twinning programs that UGC has come out with. We are encouraging all the educational institutions, including in the state of Punjab, to see that they have such richer collaborations for research, to ensure that you do these joint degrees and research degrees in collaboration with others. Just as an example, like IIT Ropar is there or IIT Delhi is there, 100 PhDs from just one Queensland University and IIT Delhi happens on research. And this is pertinent research which society and that entire domain wants. If IIT Delhi can do 100 PhDs in one, we also want our institutions to do such type of research. And I think this is an opportunity to see where this type of research collaborations can happen once you see the examples that are there or what happens in the discussions tomorrow.
I would like to add is a little bit of information here. Immediately after the education working group meeting in Amritsar, we are also having the L20, the Labour 20 meeting happening in Amritsar itself. So I think that question will again be put up. You will be again called there. And I like to add just one small bit of information with permission of Secretary Sir. We are a very young country. 2/3 of our population is below the age of 34 years. Our average age is 28 years, the median age. And median age of developed countries is 44, 45. In Japan, it is 48. So I think the mobility is a very natural progression that is happening. It is not to be spoken in a negative way. I think it is like we are going to provide the intellectual manpower for the entire world. And how do we skill our manforce to meet those challenges? That is exactly what we are trying to do through these kind of discussions.
One thing is there, after obtaining the graduation degree, students are not going for the higher education in the foreign nation. They are migrating. After obtaining the degree from here, they are migrating due to the unemployment. And one thing is there, this is very much common in the youth. They say that our educational institutions are producing the degrees, not creating employment. This is very bitter truth, we can say. This
So
is a
that's
problem. This is most of the Punjabi youth are migrating from India to Canada and England and other nations.
So this bitter truth that you're mentioning is the challenge that we are trying to address head on. It is not a question of degrees, it is a question of competencies. And this entire national education policy is focused on seeing that competencies are delivered, which are required by the industry and society at large. So unless you have the competency of whatever the industry requires in future, a degree by whatever name is not what is required. And it is in that context that all these things, unless you have this awareness in you, they have the inquisitiveness in you, you have the opportunity to take multidisciplinary courses, these competencies will not come. And having this framework, it is mandatory on our part of all our academic institutions to provide those avenues to students by providing them those multidisciplinary opportunities as well as accessing courses which are there available in the best part of the country.
पंजाब में बेरोजगारी, ड्रग्स एंड लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की ज़्यादा है कि लोग बच्चों को बाहर भेजना जरूरी समझते हैं, मजबूरी है उनकी.
I mean, I think अभी जो बोला ना, I don't think ये इस context या इस working group की context में है ये, हाँ? So I think this you can take separately.
I think this question is not really part of the G20 education working group meeting. It's a general problem here. I think that can be addressed at some other platform. Okay, friends, I think it was a very nice interactive session with you. Some very useful questions came. We will be issuing a press release and we'll be giving you a press release in Hindi, English as well as Punjabi. We'll give you some photographs also. We'll request our media friends to please give a suitable coverage and whatever questions you address. And definitely tomorrow we'll be giving you a separate invite for that. Please do visit the exhibition. I think a lot of your questions will get automatically addressed when you look at those exhibitions. Now please join us for a hike.
It will be really encouraging to whoever has come there to that exhibition. They're all youngsters, they're all students. You go there and study the type of innovations they have done and you give them a platform in your paper. You are done service to innovation ambition that this country has on its plate. Thank you.
Please join us for a cup of tea outside. There is no press conference. Tomorrow you are just going to come to visit to the exhibition, see the exhibition, talk to students there and do the story.